Good morning, everyone. It's Aggie back again with ProSource Athletics YouTube channel. Got a phenomenal question out of Virginia, specific to select baseball rosters. And the question was, how big should my roster be? Well, in order to answer that question, you've got to think through a couple of different factors. And these are real issues in the baseball world. No matter what level it's at, whether it's 8 and under or it's 18 and under, this is something to be addressed and to understand why we're doing things. That's one of the things that's incumbent upon us as coaches, as experts, to answer why for all of you. So let's start with the easy answer. Usually 10 and under, we either go one above the age group size. So meaning if you're 9U, you're probably going to go with 10 players. If you're 10U, you're probably going to go with 11 players, that sort of thing. 8U, you can't go with just 9 players, so you probably want to carry 10 on 8U as well. But at the 11U and above, you usually go, the roster size is the same as the age group. So 11U 11, 12U 12, this and that. Now, there's a couple different things to think about in that. Sometimes, depending on the team that you have, you can carry a roster. Let's say you have an 11U team, you could carry a roster of 10 and get away with it. If, and here's the big if, you have 8 or 9 true pitchers, okay? Because you have to think about the format of these tournaments. Usually it's a 3-game guarantee, but you could play as many as 6 or 7 games depending on the size of the tournament. So if you only have 10 guys and you've got 8 pitchers, and you are adhering to pitch counts set forth by, Dr. Andrews or, a medical professional, then you're going to want to, make sure that you're having pitch counts of 40 or 50 or something like that. And then next game, you got the same thing. So you're splitting up the games depending on how your offense does. Now, if you have an 11U roster and you have truly legitimately 5 or 6 pitchers, and then you've got kind of guys who may have seen the mound but have no idea what to do on the mound, then you're going to run into issues. And so you might want to carry a 12th guy on that roster that is going to be an arm that you can go to and count on for 3, 4, 5 innings, in a game, or over the course of a weekend, maybe 6 innings, something like that, depending on pitch count. Again, depending on pitch count. So when you're looking at roster size, you're thinking about protective measures. How can I protect these kids through pitch counts? Understanding playing time is important. Understanding who your team is, right? If you're a team that depending on your level, you're going to go into usually 5 or 6 games a weekend, then you should definitely carry an extra roster size, even if it cuts into maybe some guys at bats or an inning in the field or something like that, because ultimately, you've got to protect those pitchers and develop those guys for the future. So that's one aspect. As you get older and you get into 15U, 16U, 17U, and above, usually you see one more than the roster size. But, so 15U, you're going to have 16, 16U, you have 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, something like that. The reason for that is pitcher onlys. So you have guys that their only job is to pitch. Now, it doesn't mean that your shortstop doesn't come in and close a game for you or things like that, but you're really focusing on getting those pitchers innings, developing them. By that time, if they're only going 2 or 3 innings as a starter, they're not really a PO. They're a guy who's just on a roster, and you don't want that. You want guys who really can give you solid innings, hand on the ball and say, hey, I'll see you in 75 pitches, right? That's important to be able to do at the older age groups. But on that roster of, let's say, 16 guys, 5 of those are pitcher onlys, and then the other 11 are predominantly position players that you might rotate through with a DH or that sort of thing. So when building a roster, in recap, you're thinking about protection of the kids, how many pitchers you truly have on that roster, not just guys that throw a ball, but how many pitchers you truly have. You're thinking about developmental side of things and who your team actually is. Do I have a really good team that I know we're going to go 5 and 6 games, 7 games maybe in a given weekend? Or are we going to be 3 and out a lot? Both are okay, but you just have to know who you have to deal with. And that'll help determine your roster. When you get older, you definitely want to have more pitcher onlys. You want to have guys that know what they're doing out there on the mound and can eat up some innings and develop their specific skill set as it pertains to the game of baseball. So great question. Appreciate it as always. Keep them coming. Send them to admin@prosourceathletics.com. We'll be happy to answer any and all questions you have. And as always, subscribe to value. Thanks.